have a quick look at my aircraft. Yep. Okay. Make sure I've got my tracker centered. Gun sight on. Trim for nose down. Dived a bit too far there, now I've got to play catch up, but I mean they are Stukas, they're not going anywhere in a hurry. Quite a few of them have already had a bad day. Of course, they can't hit me while I'm under them, because I only have a single defensive gun, which is rearwards facing and then two forwards firing. Gotta watch my friendlies don't shoot me in the arse. Now, I'm not sure how to get the mirrors to actually render in this game. I'm not sure they've actually added that feature yet or something. But it would be mighty handy to have working rear vision mirrors. Okay. I'm in his dead zone, he can't hit me. Just gotta be careful not hitting friendlies in here. It's a bit of a mix. Leaking something. I'd say that's probably either fuel or water. Maybe a bit of both. Actually, probably water. I think that is water cooler. Now, of course, if there was any fighter escort, getting this tunnel vision would be a really bad idea, but there isn't one, so... Alright, he's peeled off, he's gone home, or in the drink, one of the two. What's oil temp? Oil temp's good. Don't have to worry about that just yet. Definitely no one behind me. I'm not expecting a Stuka to try and dogfight me. Wouldn't end well for them. Hey, this guy's a bit of a straggler. We might put another burst into him just to make sure he isn't going home. Not very chivalrous, but you never know. He might try and sneak by towards the target, hoping that we don't notice him. Didn't give him enough space. Oh, hey, Gone. I've actually had a couple of viewers over the last few days, usually one at a time, occasionally two. So, people are watching, just usually not very many. That's okay. Not like this is my job or anything. Head-on shot. I don't like this. I'll let it go. In fact, I'm going to let this guy go because I'm wasting time chasing a guy that's crippled anyway. And I should be trying to stop the rest from getting through. And I'm now badly out of position. Not even sure where the rest of their formation is. Getting a bit warm down there. And he revs back a bit. Back off the power. Okay, I honestly have no idea where they've gone. It's the problem with fighting in the air. 1 minute the air around you is full of aircraft, and the next minute it's totally empty. So 060. Oh, I've tumbled my fucking gyros again, haven't I? It's something you don't really think about so much. But, yeah, you get into any kind of aerobatic maneuvers in one of these old warbirds and you're going to tumble all your instruments. What is she doing? Turbulence? Ah, fuck.
Maxwell, stop.
Didn't think I was leaking anything. Yes, trees, of course. That looks like there might be an airfield over there though, so we're going to head that away. It's a bit noisy, we'll close that for now. So, I don't think I'm going to be able to eke much more out of this engine. She's really not happy. As long as the actual aircraft doesn't catch fire, as long as the fire is only coming out of the exhaust. Yeah, no. She's gone. May have taken a hit to the oil sump probably, I'd imagine. And I've got to try and remember where the fucking fuel cock in the Hurricane is. There. That's where it is. Now, we can't fully feather the prop, but we can at least try and feather it a bit. It's our airspeed. 120, that's way too low. Now, I should have actually looked up what the best glide speed for a Spitfire and a Hurricane is, because that's useful information to know for situations like this, but we'll get by. It's steep, hold off, hold her off, hold her off, hold her off. Oh, you could not ask for a better landing. You seriously could not ask for a better landing. The only problem is now I can't fucking bail out and I'm gonna drown. Oh well. Yeah, for some reason they made it you don't appear able to bail out when you're on the ground or in the water, which is a bit dumb. But I'm gonna call that a win, because I would have been able to get out of that before it sank. So that's good enough for me. What did we do? 8 minutes and 32 seconds, 16% accuracy. Yeah, well, they're Stukas, they're smaller targets. Didn't shoot any down. We damaged 2 of them. We got half shares in damage on 2 of them, 38%. So we damaged 4, but didn't force any of them down yet. That's okay. Just have a second to read chat since I can't see it from where I'm sitting. I think they might have hit my oil sump. I think that's what happened, but it's weird because usually if your oil system gets hit, it'll spray back on the windscreen, so I don't know. I don't think it was me overtaxing the engine because it wasn't running hot. Pretty sure I wasn't running it outside of its normal parameters, so who knows? Battle damage of some sort or other, probably. Right, let's get set to try that again. 6 Hurricanes, 12 Stukas. This time I'd try not to get strung out chasing one miles away as well, because that was kind of fucking stupid. Light clouds will make it. sure my track IR is centered. Front sight on.
Back. One by one.
A bit of a grey out there, but we're okay. Right in the belly. He's having a bad day. Looks like he's bailing. Okay, let's slip up onto these other Stukas.
Ultimately, well, not here. I'm out of ammo. Here.
How are our engine temps? Okay.
30. Altitude, angle 6.5.
Whoa, that was close. That was one of our guys just slid under my nose. That was a bit close for comfort. Getting a bit close here. If one of these rear gunners opens up with a good shot, we're going to be in trouble. So just try and break this guy, get in the break formation. And herein we see the problem with 303 arm Spitfires. You've got 8 guns, but they're rifle caliber machine guns. Try and shoot down aircraft. It's not real efficient. However, because they are helplessly slow and unable to maneuver, and their rear gunners are kind of useless, I'm able to just sit on their tails like this and hose away without much care. Okay, he's going in. Engine temp's good. Now, paradoxically, the slower you fly, the more likely you are to blow up your engine, because obviously you're not getting as much airflow over the radiator. So, long, slow climbs are a bad idea, but because I'm kind of flying pretty vertical at the moment, lots of diving in on people, it balances out, helps keep the Merlin happy, keep it nice and cool. Because the Merlin really heats up fast. We'll go for this guy, he's a bit of a straggler. Lower into full power. Actually, I think I've got the throttle gate closed. Well, the Hurricane doesn't have a throttle gate, I forgot. Cockpit's just different enough from the Spitfire to make it challenging to remember stuff, but it's close enough that you don't really have any major concerns. And the most important bit, all the instrumentation and major controls are in the exact same place, because the British, unlike the Germans and certainly unlike the Americans, were big brains and tried to standardize their aircraft cockpits as much as possible across every military aircraft, bombers, transports, fighters, the lot. They all had the same instrument panel, all had the same layout. It's really good if you're a pilot. Okay, so we're out of ammo now. I'm gonna just bring the power back and sort of make a lazy descent here. Leave our wingmen to just fire off what's left of their ammo at these Stukas. Now, there was no way we were going to be able to stop the whole raid, not with 12 aircraft against 6, and not with my kind of ropey marksmanship, but I'm pretty sure I killed one, may have got a second. Ah, how convenient, there's an airfield right there. Where are we? We are We're near Hawkinge, I think. Yeah, that's Limpney off to the left, down there. And this would be Hawkinge right in front of me, I believe. No, actually, oh, maybe not. It's either Limpney or Hawkinge. So I'm going to fly a bit of a loose circuit around here just to bleed off some speed. Again, I haven't set up my rudder trim, and you can see I'm kind of side-slipping a bit. Now, during the actual war, the novice pilots who didn't have real good command of their aircraft and would fly around side-slipping like they were in the fucking initial D, they actually had a better survival rate than the really well-trained aerobatic pilots, because the aerobatic pilots could keep the aircraft in balance and were therefore easily predictable. Ooh, maybe we're not landing there. Yeah, they were easily predictable. Whereas some, 10-hour pilot that could barely keep the thing going in a straight line was much more difficult to hit. So I guess that's working in my favour there. Something tells me I probably shouldn't land there. Let's divert up the coast. Now the attack on the Hurricane is a bit awkward because it's under that dash, but should be flying around 2650, which is what the Merlin likes to cruise at. Follow the coast along and land at the next airfield we see, which hopefully is not getting the shit bombed out of it. I mean, I think they're done bombing it. I could land there, but I don't want to end up with a wheel in a bomb crater on the runway, or just having one of the stragglers suddenly plop one on my head. That would be pretty bad. Allow me to read my phone and fly at the same time. Now you mention it, Gern, the Poles actually, on a number of occasions, were known to machine gun German aircrew in their parachutes because, it was the Poles and they fucking hated the Germans. Kind of understandable. The RAF pilots were a bit shocked by it, and the RAF pilots were not inclined to participate in the same thing, but... Okay, a bit more trim. Should be an airfield around here somewhere. I know that in Flight Simulator X there's an airfield around here somewhere because I've landed the Spit at it before. I'm not sure if it's an old World War II airfield though. So, I'm not sure if it'll be present in this. Don't want to go too far north, so... see. Aha! I see a runway. Okay, yeah, that was Limpney, because this is Hawkinge here. Is it? No. Hawkinge isn't that close to the coast. Have I misread the map? Ah, okay, that was Littlestone. Maybe. Maybe not. Who fucking knows? The map doesn't seem to be entirely user-friendly, because I mean it doesn't have any contours marked on it or anything. And I'm not as familiar with this section of the coast. Like, all around Dover, Deal, all up there I am because I spent a lot of time there as a kid, but... Right. Get this girl configured for landing. I'm coming in way too fast, so I'll give her a bit of side slip, bit of cross controls. There we go. Just a bit of a power boost to get us over the hedge. Yeah, flaps are down, Gurn. I mean, I'm actually coming in shallow enough that I can do a flapless landing. I don't need full flap at this kind of angle, but... this would be a flapless landing if I was doing this in real life, because this is way too shallow. And the aircraft wants to wallow a bit. Oh, no bounce. That was actually pretty smooth. I thought I came down a bit hard there, but no, it seems okay. Alright, let's get her off the runway. And demonstrate my drunken taxiing. Actually, the Hurricane is much more stable on the ground than the Spitfire because, you know, it has that whole wide track landing gear going for it, as opposed to the Spit, which is a very dainty little thing with narrow landing gear. I should be far enough off the runway that, not that my AI teammates are going to land, they're going to fly into a tree or something following me, but get myself just out of the way over here. Engine to idle cutoff. Now I've got to figure out where everything is in here. Slow running cutout. There we go. Oh, no. Hold her in. Fuel cock off. Magnetos off. Okay. Need to be on. Can't click those. Most of this cockpit isn't clickable. It's not quite DCS or FSX tier fidelity, but I mean most of the stuff you need to actually use for normal flight is clickable. Right, so that's the Hurricane. A bit more rough and ready than the Spit. It's a much more stable gun platform because it's a bit more sedate when you're trying to get on someone's tail. The Spit is a bit more finicky, much more sensitive on the controls. The Hurricane is also much more stable on the ground. The Spit's kind of a nightmare to taxi. This thing's just beautiful. The obvious disadvantages being that the Hurricane is slower. The Hurricane has this really heavily framed canopy, so you can't see out quite as well. It's not bubbled, so you can't really see behind yourself with it closed, but it's a pretty good, solid workhorse. How about, Gurn, how about I treat you and play a game I'm really shit at? How about I launch DCS and see if I can remember the ramp start for a MiG-21? Which I've done about twice, and I think the last time I did it was about 2-3 months ago. Alright, let's pop out and see what we got. Flying time, 13 minutes 41. Can you see this statistics screen, by the way, Gurn? Or does it not show? Because I can't tell which window the game's trying to, or which window OBS is trying to capture. This game is really janky the way it runs. Bullets fired, 1,910, 19% hits. We got a half share in one Stuka and a just under a quarter share in a second. So 2 were downed, 4 were damaged, 2 of those half shares to us, and we lost 2 friendly Hurricanes. 9-10 and 9-12, so they probably did the usual thing and flew themselves into the ground while I was trying to land. But that was pretty successful. Alright, I might pop out of this. Stream will probably go down for a minute or two while I get DCS up and running, and then I will see what I can do with that.